The role of the metaverse in Korea's 2030 vision for cultural technology. South Korea's approach to the metaverse represents a calculated transformation of cultural technology that extends far beyond entertainment into the realm of national strategic planning. The country's 2030 vision positions the metaverse not merely as a technological novelty, but as fundamental infrastructure for cultural diplomacy, economic development, and global influence projection through avatar-based immersive experiences. South Korea's policy frameworks conceptualize the metaverse distinctively from global definitions. While international perspectives typically frame it as persistent, shared 3D virtual spaces for social and commercial interaction, South Korea's Ministry of Science and ICT describes it as an uncharted digital continent of indefinite potential where citizens can build, interact, and grow through virtual experiences. This metaphorical framing emphasizes the metaverse as a platform for national development rather than merely entertainment infrastructure. The government's Digital New Deal 2.0 strategy integrates the metaverse into broader technological and cultural policy objectives, defining it as a development platform supported by extended reality technologies, metaverse-oriented infrastructures, and ethical safeguards for digital rights protection. This comprehensive approach distinguishes South Korea's vision from other nations that treat virtual environments primarily as commercial or entertainment platforms. Perhaps most significantly, initiatives like Metaverse Seoul demonstrate the government's conception of virtual spaces as parallel civic platforms, offering municipal services, cultural events, and tourism experiences within 3D virtual environments. This practical application illustrates how South Korea views the metaverse as essential infrastructure for public service delivery and cultural engagement. South Korea's metaverse strategy demonstrates sophisticated application of strategic foresight techniques, though these methods are not always explicitly labeled in government documentation. The Ministry of Science and ICT conducted comprehensive environmental scanning of emerging technologies including extended reality, digital twins, artificial intelligence, blockchain, cloud computing, and data analytics to justify positioning the metaverse as a national priority. The government's approach incorporates quantitative trend analysis and forecasting, setting specific targets to rise from 12th to 5th globally in metaverse capabilities by 2026, train 40,000 specialists, and nurture 220 companies with annual sales exceeding 5 billion South Korean won each. These numerical objectives reflect trend-based forecasting grounded in patent filings, investment data, and market growth projections. The structured 2022 Pan-Government Roadmap embodies scenario-based planning methodology, dividing strategy into 4 interconnected pillars: ecosystem building, talent cultivation, enterprise promotion, and ethical framework development. Each pillar includes actionable steps, measurable milestones, allocated budgets, and designated institutional responsibilities, effectively modeling plausible future scenarios where Korean metaverse technology plays defined global roles. South Korea's development of prototype projects like Metaverse Seoul and Metaverse demonstration facilities represents a backcasting approach, designing near-term implementations to guide future system expansion. These foundational pilot projects function as scenario testbeds, preparing pathways toward broader deployment while testing assumptions about user adoption and technological feasibility. The integration of avatars into South Korea's cultural exports represents a sophisticated evolution of the Korean wave, extending soft power influence into interactive digital domains. Virtual idols have become central to K-pop's global expansion, with groups like aespa combining real performers with digital avatars in narratives, spanning both physical and metaverse realms. These avatars appear in music videos and international concerts, enhancing global reach and fan engagement. Fully AI-generated performers like Nevis demonstrate South Korea's technological capabilities in creating synthetic cultural content. Her synthesized voice, AI-generated visuals, and solo music releases in 2024 illustrate how avatar technology can create entirely new categories of cultural exports. Similarly, groups like Plave, Mave, and Eten TI represent different approaches to virtual performance, from motion-captured human operators to fully artificial entities, each testing different models for avatar-based cultural content. The legal framework surrounding these virtual performers has evolved to recognize avatar rights and operator protections. Court rulings in 2025 established that defamation against avatars like those in play constitutes real harm to their human operators, reinforcing legal personhood concepts for avatar-driven cultural content. Gaming platforms have become crucial venues for avatar-based cultural exports. Events like Blackpink's virtual concert in PUBG Mobile reached global audiences across multiple weekends, while platforms like Zap2 integrate virtual idols and avatars into interactive experiences that combine gaming, social interaction, and cultural content consumption. South Korea's development of immersive platforms demonstrates strategic thinking about cultural export mechanisms. Beyond Live, launched by SM Entertainment and JYP through Naver's platform, created high-tech interactive concert experiences featuring augmented reality and real-time fan engagement. Super M's 2020 performance sold 75,000 virtual tickets to fans in 109 countries, establishing new models for cultural content distribution. The National Museum of Korea's presence on Zap2, featuring the Peaceful Hill exhibition with iconic artifacts like the pensive Bodhisattva, attracted over 10 million visitors, demonstrating how traditional cultural institutions can leverage metaverse platforms for global engagement. Similar initiatives by the Busan Museum of Art, Liam Metaverse Museum, and Kansong Metaverse Museum indicate systematic integration of cultural heritage into virtual platforms. Digital festivals like the Korea Metaverse Festival and international showcases, through the K-Metaverse Pavilion at events like Mobile World Congress represent coordinated efforts to demonstrate Korean metaverse capabilities globally. These platforms serve dual purposes, promoting Korean cultural content, and establishing South Korea as a technological leader in immersive platform development. The Metaverse Seoul project exemplifies how virtual platforms can support cultural tourism and civic engagement. This city-scale digital twin offers avatar-guided tours of landmarks like Gyeongbokgung Palace while selling virtual souvenirs tied to real-world goods, creating new revenue streams for cultural exports. South Korea's success in metaverse-driven cultural technology stems from sophisticated public-private collaboration structures. The Metaverse Alliance, founded by the Ministry of Science and ICT, includes over 200 participants ranging from major corporations like Hyundai Motor, Samsung, and SK Telecom to entertainment companies like SM Entertainment and Kakao Entertainment. This alliance facilitates collaborative development of metaverse platforms, standardization efforts, business model innovation, and ecosystem growth. SM Entertainment's partnerships with KAIST for avatar and metaverse performance technology development, combined with its studio real-life content production capabilities, illustrate how entertainment companies integrate academic research with commercial production. The company's corporate venture arm, SM Culture Partners, supports startup development in meta-human solutions through initiatives like the Culture Tech Challenge, providing funding pools exceeding 100 million South Korean won. Municipal-level collaborations like Metaverse Seoul demonstrate how local governments partner with technology companies to create practical applications of metaverse infrastructure. Seoul Metropolitan Government works with MUSIT-funded technology providers and telecommunications operators to deliver municipal services, education, and tourism through avatar-based interfaces. International showcase initiatives like the K-Metaverse Pavilion, organized by MUSIT and the National IT Promotion Agency, promote Korean extended reality cultural exports at global technology conferences. These efforts position South Korea's metaverse capabilities within international technology and cultural export contexts. South Korea has developed comprehensive ethical and regulatory frameworks specifically addressing avatar-based cultural content export. The Ministry of Science and ICT introduced ethical principles, centered on three core values: sincere identity, safe experience, and sustainable prosperity, applied across 8 dimensions including authenticity, autonomy, reciprocity, privacy, fairness, data protection, inclusivity, and responsibility. The December 2023 Metaverse Code of Conduct includes 40 basic provisions and 120 entity-specific clauses, representing significant movement toward industry self-regulation. These guidelines address concerns about harassment, fraud, hate speech, and minor exposure in virtual environments, with studies indicating that up to 40% of users experience harassment and over 25% report sexual harassment involving avatars. Youth protection laws have been extended to cover avatar-related content, criminalizing sexual exploitation involving childlike avatars regardless of whether they represent real or fictional entities. This proactive approach addresses international concerns about virtual content while potentially creating competitive advantages for Korean cultural exports by establishing trust with global audiences. The Korea Communications Commission's basic principles for the protection of metaverse users alongside Seoul's metaverse ethics framework focus on sexual harassment prevention, privacy rights protection, and content moderation. A Prime Minister-chaired task force reviews metaverse policies and recommends legislation, potentially resulting in a comprehensive Metaverse Industry Promotion Act with interim standards and compliance incentives. South Korea has established measurable economic objectives for metaverse-driven cultural exports with sophisticated tracking mechanisms. The domestic metaverse market, valued at approximately $4.55 billion in 2024, is projected to reach $51.4 billion by 2030, reflecting an annual growth rate of approximately 50%. Government strategy aims to position South Korea as the world's 5th largest metaverse market by 2026. Specific targets include cultivating 220 metaverse-specialized companies, each achieving annual sales over 5 billion South Korean won by 2026, while generating 1.5 million metaverse-related jobs and training 40,000 professionals. The Ministry of Science and ICT launched export assistance programs in 2023 targeting 100 small and medium enterprises in metaverse and extended reality sectors, backed by $8.9 million in funding. Performance tracking occurs through annual market intelligence reports, government roadmap milestone assessments, small and medium enterprise export outcome monitoring, global showcase participation rates, and workforce development metrics. These measurements provide granular data on sector growth, company performance, employment generation, and export success. The tracking system monitors participation in international exhibitions through NEPA-organized K-Metaverse Pavilion appearances at Mobile World Congress, Consumer Electronics Show, and other global technology events. Partnership outcomes and startup participation rates provide indicators of international market penetration and competitive positioning. South Korea's metaverse strategy positions the country advantageously against regional competitors China and Japan. Analysis indicates South Korea leads East Asia in metaverse development conceptual clarity and execution, with government strategy providing more comprehensive vision than neighboring countries. China's avatar strategy tends to emphasize domestic market development with traditional aesthetic elements, while South Korea focuses on globally resonant, cross-cultural avatar exports designed for international audiences. Japan's approach emphasizes gaming and manga-related applications, but South Korea's broader integration across entertainment, education, municipal services, and cultural exports demonstrates more comprehensive strategic thinking. South Korea's proactive government involvement, from Ministry of Science and ICT-driven objectives to extensive corporate partnerships, suggests earlier and more consistent market entry than regional competitors. This positioning could establish South Korea as a global hub for avatar-based soft power projection with significant returns in cultural affinity, creative exports, and digital standards development. The country's integration of avatars into cultural technology builds directly upon existing Korean wave foundations, helping evolve soft power beyond traditional music and film into interactive domains. Virtual idol integration strategies, such as SM Entertainment's Culture Universe approach, extend franchise reach into virtual domains while supporting narrative expansion and fandom immersion. South Korea's metaverse integration represents systematic transformation of cultural export mechanisms rather than incremental technological adoption. The convergence of avatar technology, immersive platforms, comprehensive regulatory frameworks, and strategic public-private collaborations creates synergistic effects that amplify traditional Korean wave cultural influence through interactive digital engagement. By 2030, sustained leadership in avatar-based cultural technology could position South Korea at the forefront of interactive cultural diplomacy, augmenting its existing soft power portfolio with new forms of audience engagement and content monetization. The systematic approach to foresight planning, ethical framework development, and international collaboration suggests potential for sustained competitive advantages in global cultural markets. The strategic integration of avatars into cultural exports through immersive platforms, supported by comprehensive collaboration structures and regulatory innovation, demonstrates how South Korea is transforming cultural technology from entertainment supplement into core infrastructure for global influence projection. This transformation represents not merely technological adoption, but fundamental reimagining of how cultural content can engage global audiences through personalized, interactive, and immersive experiences that extend beyond traditional media consumption into participatory cultural engagement.